The United States economy is in turmoil following the imposition of a 104% tariff on China by Donald Trump, causing a seismic shock to the stock market. This decision, which seems to echo the plot of a suspense thriller, more than a strategic economic move, wiped out trillions of dollars almost overnight, leaving investors and citizens alike in a state of disbelief. With the economy teetering on the brink of recession, Trump convened a press conference that can only be described as chaotic. His rhetoric was fiery, taking aim not just at China, but also at international allies like Germany and Canada, further exacerbating the global tension. The imposition of such a steep tariff on China, a significant player in international trade, was a move that sent shockwaves through the financial markets, causing stock indices to nosedive. Any hopes of a market recovery following the previous economic turmoil were dashed as investor confidence plummeted, leading to a catastrophic loss of wealth. It was as if the economy was standing on a precipice, staring into the abyss of a looming recession. During his press conference, Trump criticized Germany's renewable energy policy with a quip that might have been more at home in a stand-up routine. Germany went green, very green. They went so green they almost went out of business. The wind wasn't blowing too much. Yet the irony is that it is his administration's policies that are pushing the U.S. economy into crisis. These remarks are not just destabilizing for the economy, they are eroding America's global influence, particularly in sustainable development and renewable energy sectors. Trump's verbal onslaught didn't stop at China. He directed his ire towards Canada, labeling it a drug den responsible for killing Americans with fentanyl. However, these accusations were devoid of evidence, a fact that only served to heighten tensions between the two nations. These baseless claims have left America's allies uneasy, as the lack of transparency in Trump's leadership style becomes a growing concern on the international stage. This unpredictability in foreign policy has made diplomatic relations more fraught than ever, with allies left wondering what might come next. In an immediate response, Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney asserted, "I will reject all attempts to weaken Canada," signaling a serious rift in U.S.-Canada relations. Even Doug Ford, a former Trump ally, has turned against him, lamenting the unfortunate situation for the American people. This fallout has prompted countries across Europe and Asia to distance themselves from the U.S., seeking to form new alliances and reduce their dependence on American economic policies. Former friendships now appear fractured, with Trump's tariff policies having isolated America and diminished its influence on the global stage. Amidst rising inflation, soaring gas prices, and unemployment, Trump has chosen to raise global tariffs further. This decision is seen not only as a catalyst for worsening economic conditions, but also as a strategy to divert public attention from internal issues. The approach might be labeled as "Make America Great Again," but the reality seems more aligned with "Make Recession Real Fast." These policies are sowing chaos not just domestically, but globally, as nations scramble to protect their interests from America's unilateral actions. The day that Trump termed as Liberation Day, intended to herald a new era of economic freedom, has instead devolved into an economic catastrophe. Trump's strategy of global tariffs, bereft of a clear rationale or detailed plan, has left the international community in disarray. His accusations against Canada, lacking substantive evidence, have not only strained bilateral relations, but have also caused Trump to lose the trust of many within his party. Even his Republican allies, such as Mitch McConnell, Susan Collins, and Rand Paul, have voiced their dissent, warning that these tariffs could plunge the nation further into crisis. While the economy grapples with inflation and looming recession, Trump's solution is to escalate tensions with global tariffs, risking a trade war with America's partners. Instead of focusing on domestic concerns like gas prices and inflation, Trump is leading the country into unnecessary conflict. These moves are not just creating a trade war, they are distractions from more pressing issues, risking further deterioration of America's economic standing. In a dramatic warning from Ottawa, Canada's leadership has made it clear they will not stand idly by. Mark Carney, former governor of the Bank of England and a potential prime minister, has vowed to reject any attempts to weaken Canada, emphasizing the importance of a society that serves its people. He has communicated directly with Trump, reinforcing Canada's stance against being worn down by American policies. The tariffs Trump has proposed are not only ambitious, but also risky. A universal 20% tariff on all countries exporting to the U.S. could impact over $3 trillion worth of goods. Analysts warn that if other countries retaliate, the U.S. could face severe economic consequences, including the loss of millions of jobs and a significant downturn in GDP. This policy has left allies outraged and Wall Street uncertain, with the financial markets reflecting a state of high tension and unpredictability. Within the White House, chaos reigns as Trump's economic advisors scramble to present viable policy options. A 20% tariff could bring substantial revenue, but only if retaliation does not occur, a scenario economists deem inevitable. Goldman Sachs has already adjusted its forecasts, warning of rising inflation and a potential recession. These decisions are not just domestic issues, they are creating instability on a global scale. In a peculiar twist, Trump shared an article suggesting that Western Canadians were eager to become the 51st state of the U.S., though it only interviewed 3 individuals, including Danielle Smith, the Alberta premier previously linked to Trump in a scandal. This move not only angered Canada, but also highlighted the challenges facing the U.S. import industry, already grappling with rising raw material prices. Canada's response was swift, with significant declines in travel to the U.S. and a boycott of American goods. Prime Minister Mark Carney has outlined a 3-step plan to combat these pressures: fight, protect, and build. This includes a strategy to build 500,000 houses per year and transform provincial economies into a unified federal bloc. Carney's approach, coupled with his critique of political rivals, represents a robust response to Trump's tariffs, positioning Canada to withstand American economic aggression. The impact of tariffs on everyday goods is significant, with prices expected to rise across the board, affecting low-income families the most. This economic strain is prompting countries like Europe, Japan, South Korea, and China to draw closer, distancing themselves from the U.S. and undermining Trump's so-called Liberation Day. The imposition of tariffs on Canadian goods has pushed trade relations into unprecedented tension, with the potential to affect billions of dollars in products related to the automotive industry. Trump may see these tariffs as essential for protecting the U.S. economy, but Canada views them as madness, indicating a willingness to respond in kind. This economic conflict is not just about trade, it is damaging diplomatic relations and highlighting the erosion of trust between the U.S. and its allies. Canada, once a close partner, now finds itself in a strained relationship, with Trump's derogatory remarks only compounding the issue. As Canadians rally in support of their government, the reliability of the U.S. as an ally is called into question. The tariffs are expected to raise the cost of cars, affecting consumers, and potentially leading to job losses in the automotive industry. Financial markets have reacted negatively, with significant drops in major indices following Trump's announcement. While Trump aims to protect the domestic economy, these measures challenge America's commitment to free trade and international cooperation. Ultimately, Trump's Liberation Day has sparked chaos rather than freedom, raising questions about whether this strategy is one of leadership or simply burning diplomatic bridges. The market's trillion-dollar loss underscores the gravity of the situation, as Trump's tariff announcement sends shockwaves through the financial world. In the midst of this economic turmoil, the Trump family finds itself embroiled in a $250 million civil trial, accused of financial fraud. The trial has captivated national attention, turning the Trump family from public figures to legal defendants. Late-night shows, particularly Jimmy Kimmel's, have capitalized on the situation, using it as comedic fodder. Don Jr., known for his bold online presence, appeared anxious and defensive in court, a demeanor that Kimmel likened to someone who had just downed 10 espressos. Kimmel's satire, while humorous, highlighted the family's vulnerability in the face of legal scrutiny. Eric Trump, portrayed as the human embodiment of a loading icon, struggled through his testimony, adding to the spectacle. Donald Trump, known for his sensitivity to criticism, reportedly watched Kimmel's show with seething anger, labeling the host a loser with low ratings. Yet the online mockery only intensified, with memes and satirical content spreading rapidly. The family's attempts at damage control have inadvertently exposed more cracks in their public image. In today's media landscape, Where reactions are instantaneous and scrutiny is relentless, managing one's image is more challenging than ever. For the Trump family, whose brand is built on legacy and dominance, every mocking laugh from the public chips away at the carefully constructed facade. The unfolding events promise to reshape how Americans perceive power, fame, and reality. As the saga continues, we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of the current administration's approach to international relations and domestic policy? Don't forget to like this video if you found it insightful and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analyses and updates on the latest developments in world affairs. Your engagement helps us bring you more content, and we appreciate your support in growing our community. Stay tuned for more as the story unfolds. Certainly, here's a continuation of the narrative. As the Trump administration navigates the turbulent waters of domestic and international policy, the repercussions of its decisions are felt across the globe. The imposition of tariffs, intended as a strategy to bolster the U.S. economy, has instead ignited widespread uncertainty and diplomatic discord. This approach, while dramatic, has led to a series of unintended consequences that are reshaping global alliances and economic strategies. Countries that once relied heavily on the U.S. are now exploring alternative partnerships, driven by a need to shield themselves from the volatility of American economic policies. As nations pivot towards new alliances, the U.S. finds itself increasingly isolated on the world stage, a situation that underscores the complex interplay between economic policy and international diplomacy. The domestic impact of these tariffs is equally significant. For the average American family, the rise in consumer goods prices is more than just an economic inconvenience. It's a tangible reminder of how global policies can affect everyday life. As inflation creeps up and purchasing power diminishes, households are faced with difficult choices that could alter their financial landscape for years to come. Within the halls of power, the debate over the efficacy of these tariffs continues. Economic advisors are caught in a whirlwind of conflicting strategies, each with its own set of risks and rewards. The challenge lies in finding a balance that protects American interests while maintaining the nation's standing as a leader in global trade. The political ramifications are also profound. States that form the backbone of Trump's electoral success are now showing signs of discontent. Recent elections have highlighted a shift in voter sentiment, with previously staunch supporters questioning the direction of the administration's policies. This political realignment reflects a broader trend of disenchantment that could have lasting effects on the American political landscape. In the midst of this economic and political upheaval, the Trump family's legal battles add another layer of complexity to the narrative. The civil trial, with its high stakes and media attention, has transformed the family from symbols of American success to subjects of public scrutiny. The courtroom drama, coupled with the comedic commentary from late-night hosts, offers a stark contrast to the family's once carefully managed public image. These developments serve as a reminder of the delicate balance between power, perception, and policy. In an era where information is instantaneous and public opinion can shift rapidly, the ability to adapt and respond to challenges is more crucial than ever. For the Trump administration, the path forward is fraught with challenges, each decision carrying the potential to reshape both the domestic and international arenas. As we watch these events unfold, the question remains, what will be the lasting impact of these policies on the United States and its role in the world? Will the current approach lead to a stronger, more resilient economy, or will it further strain relationships with allies and trading partners? We invite you to share your insights and opinions in the comments below. Your perspectives are invaluable as we continue to explore the implications of these complex issues. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel to stay informed about the latest news and analyses. Your support helps us bring you more content, and we look forward to engaging with you in the discussions to come. Stay tuned for more updates as this story develops, and thank you for being a part of our community. We value your engagement and look forward to bringing you more insightful content in the weeks ahead. Certainly. Here's the continuation. As the United States grapples with the fallout from its aggressive tariff policies and the ongoing legal drama surrounding the Trump family, the global community watches closely, assessing the implications for international trade and diplomatic relations. The interconnected nature of today's global economy means that shifts in U.S. policy reverberate far beyond its borders, prompting both allies and adversaries to reconsider their economic and strategic alignments. In Europe, leaders are actively exploring strategies to mitigate the impact of U.S. tariffs, with some countries seeking to strengthen intra-European trade to reduce reliance on American markets. The European Union, with its vast single market, presents a formidable counterbalance to U.S. economic influence, and its leaders are leveraging this strength to negotiate more favorable terms with other global powers. This shift underscores the growing multipolarity of the world economy, where power is not solely concentrated in the hands of a few dominant nations. Asia, too, is witnessing a realignment of economic priorities. China, long a target of U.S. trade policies, is deepening its ties with neighboring countries and expanding its Belt and Road Initiative to create new trade corridors and investment opportunities. This strategic pivot not only enhances China's economic clout, but also positions it as a central player in the evolving global trade landscape. For countries like Japan and South Korea, navigating this new reality involves balancing traditional alliances with the U.S. against emerging opportunities with China. In the Americas, Canada's robust response to U.S. tariffs highlights a broader trend of regional consolidation. By reinforcing its economic independence and pursuing new partnerships, Canada is setting a precedent for other nations looking to assert their sovereignty in the face of external pressures. This approach is not just about economic survival. It's about redefining the terms of engagement with a neighbor whose policies have become increasingly unpredictable. Domestically, the U.S. faces a period of introspection as citizens and policymakers alike grapple with the consequences of the current administration's decisions. The economic strain felt by households across the country is a stark reminder of the tangible impact of international policies on domestic life. As inflation rises and the cost of living increases, the pressure mounts on policymakers to find solutions that address the needs of everyday Americans while maintaining the country's competitive edge on the world stage. The political landscape, too, is shifting as voters reassess their priorities and allegiances. The recent electoral outcomes in key states suggest a growing desire for change, with constituents increasingly vocal about their dissatisfaction with the status quo. This evolving political climate presents both challenges and opportunities for leaders seeking to address the concerns of a diverse and dynamic electorate. Amidst these challenges, the Trump family's legal saga continues to capture public attention, serving as both a distraction and a focal point for broader discussions about accountability and integrity in public life. The trial's proceedings, scrutinized by media and public alike, reflect a complex interplay between legal, political, and personal dynamics. As the story unfolds, it offers a window into the intricate relationships that define power and influence in contemporary America. The road ahead for the United States is fraught with uncertainty, but it is also ripe with potential for renewal and transformation. As the nation navigates these tumultuous times, the choices made by its leaders will shape not only the future of the U.S., but also the broader trajectory of global affairs. In this moment of transition, the importance of informed and engaged citizenship cannot be overstated. We encourage you to continue the conversation in the comments section, sharing your thoughts on the future of U.S. policy and its implications for the world. If you found this analysis insightful, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth coverage of the issues that matter most. Your participation is vital to our community, and we look forward to hearing your perspectives as we explore these complex topics together. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more updates and analyses as we continue to navigate the ever-changing landscape of global politics and economics. Your support and engagement are what drive us to deliver quality content, and we are grateful to have you with us on this journey.